Music is an everlasting form of expression. Songs are able to transport us into emotional journeys of excitement, sadness, and joy. With the introduction of music videos, artists were able to expand this experience even further, creating outstanding pieces that stand the test of time. One of the pioneers in the creative use of music videos as we know it today was Michael Jackson. As Al Tompkins explains, and I quote, Jackson, along with Madonna and David Bowie, changed pop music in significant ways. He was the pioneer of highly produced music videos such as Thriller, Beat It, and Billie Jean. Before December 2nd, 1983, when Thriller was released, there was simply no other music videos like it. End quote. The vibrant 80s, disco, and the introduction of MTV served as means to expand Michael's influence. In 1981, MTV presented itself as a promising platform for the music industry, especially rock music. But controversy swirled around it due to the lack of black artists displayed. It's important to emphasize that the music industry was a very limiting space for black artists to thrive in. They still had to fight to get a spot on TV and to be promoted by radio stations, and Michael was not an exception. However, change came when in 1984, Michael Jackson videos started to be heavily rotated on the channel. The videos that introduced Jackson as a solo artist were Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, directed by Nick Saxon in 1979, and Rock With You, directed by Bruce Gowers in the same year. These productions are very different from the films that Michael became famous for. These were his beginnings as an artist on his own, and also an example of how video clips looked during the 70s. In these shorts, there are dynamic backgrounds, dance moves, close-ups of the artist here and there, and minimal camera movement. There is no plot or reproduction. These are performances in the most traditional form. However, there is something that stands out in both videos, and that is the wardrobe. Michael's success was a combination of many factors aside from his talent. His looks also cemented his status as a pop reference, and the proof of that are the constant references and imitations of it around the globe, even today. With Billie Jean, Michael steps even further in his career. After the huge success of the song, this was the first video heavily rotated by an African American artist on MTV. Directed by Steve Barron, Billie Jean is an explicit reference to an experience Michael had with a fangirl that claimed was expecting a baby from him. This video was a groundbreaking tool for Michael in the music industry. Due to the success that preceded, high-produced videos became a useful marketing asset that would endorse the creation of films like Thriller. Directed by John Landis, this is one of the most memorable videos in the iconography of Michael Jackson. By creating this visual story, Michael distances himself from the traditional format of music videos. Thriller is a theatrical short heavily inspired by American Werewolf London, a project also directed by Landis. From the plot to the acting, the iconic choreography, and the customization, there is an attempt to innovate and bring something different into the evolving landscape that the music industry was becoming. In the same year, Michael also publishes Beat It, this time directed by Bob Giraldi. He chooses a look into the rivalry between two street bands. This video was inspired by the Broadway musical West Side Story. However, contrary to the colorful musical, Jackson's video is filled with shadows and darkness. The focus on the song and video is the rejection of violence and toxic masculinity. As he progresses in his career, he follows this lane, creating videos at distance from fiction to reflect on more social issues. Bad is another example of it. This Martin Scorsese production, starred by Michael and Wesley Snipes, reflects the harsh reality that the youth living in Harlem during the 80s had to endure. The film was inspired by the Edmund Perry case. The short film, in black and white, deals with the severity of the topic in a way that unconsciously remembers the photography of the director and photographer Gordon Parks. With his photography, Parks documented the lights and shadows in the daily lives of African Americans. As it progresses, the film transitions into a colorful music video, again inspired by the Broadway musical West Side Story. The need to end world disparities is a reiterated topic in Michael's discography, and he made sure to translate his worries in several videos, Man in the Mirror being one of the most notorious. In this video, he steps back and, along with Don Wilson, builds footage that reflects on social political crises and events around the world, highlighting the need of change. In this film, directed by Colin Chilvers, Michael continues crafting his own lane when it comes to visual storytelling. Smooth Criminal is one of the most beautifully choreographed videos by Michael ever did. In this film, influenced by the 20s and the film noir aesthetic, Jackson appears with a more defined, polished, and distinctive style. Each frame is perfectly crafted and paced, and the constant movement of the dancers makes the film vibrate. With Leave Me Alone, directed by Jim Blanchfield, Michael shares his personal issues dealing with fame and the troubling relationship with the media. Despite the seriousness of the matter, the video is a stunning collage of images that depicts Michael's inner world with a reference to the classic book Gulliver's Travels. In the beginning of the 90s, Michael comes back with black and white. With this video, Michael continues with his attempt of putting out there a message of acceptance and making the world a better place. He promotes the idea of acceptance despite the differences across cultures. Directed by John Landis once again, Black or White was a pioneer in the use of groundbreaking special effects on music videos. It's a beautiful and eclectic choreographed sequence that showcases Michael traveling and embracing cultures from different countries of the world. In 1982, John Singleton directed Remember the Time, one of the most beautiful videos in Michael's career. Starring Jackson, the stunning supermodel Iman, Eddie Murphy, and Magic Johnson, this video is a nod to ancient Egypt in its regal melanin. The most outstanding thing about it, apart from the customization and decor, is the dance routine. This choreography flows with the concept of the video, with dance moves that remind of the Egyptian hieroglyphs. It's a beautiful piece directed by Mark Romanek and supported by his sister Janet. Michael puts out this futuristic video, continuation of what Leave Me Alone was. It's again a critique against the scrutiny he was subjected to by the media. They Don't Care About Us, 1996. This video had two different versions, both directed by Spike Lee. Unfortunately, these videos did not have proper exposure due to the reluctance of radio stations to play it and the banning of one of the videos in the US. Jackson chose to shoot one of the videos in Brazil, in a favela called Pelourinho, featuring the drumming group Olodum. But local officials in Rio de Janeiro tried to ban the filming of the video out of fear that the depiction of poverty would create a negative perception of the city internationally. The second video questions the prison system in America, along with the many injustices around the world and within the American culture. Essentially, both films are a statement, a raw expression of despair and also determination to reclaim change and shed light into issues that many times remain silenced. Jackson's contribution to the music industry was very notorious and very important for the evolution of this format. His artistry gave room to many other artists to express themselves and their art in many different ways. And that is something that always amazes me about Michael Jackson. How meticulous he was, how thought out the videos are. If you are interested in anything related to these, I leave in the link down below many behind the scenes footage that might interest you to know more anecdotes and things that happen during the recording of these videos. I'll encourage you also to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.